Okay, folks, hello. As in supposed, going by their logic, they should have killed those people, killed those ambulances they saw at those bombed out buildings. Instead, what those people ruined. Then wondered for a moment how the evac process was going on in the city. Libertyburg had a population of around, what was their population size? I don't know. It's one of the most populated cities in real life, Washington. It's around 5 million people. The incident had been going on for about for 12 hours now. Check 12 hours now. Not enough time to evacuate like even a tenth of that number of people. Then sometimes wondered if his superiors had planning on dropping nukes on the city. So he had no idea what secret weapons they had up their sleeve. Fire when ready, Tuggy ordered. The men opened up. The trio opened up on the vehicle convoy. Rounds that would have destroyed vehicles 10 times as tough just disintegrated those vehicles where they were disintegrated. Fine, I'll check it. Frickin' word, can't fucking figure out what disintegrated, how to spell that. It's just too much. It's not like it's a word I invented off the top of my head. I shouldn't have had that Nashville hot chicken for breakfast. It's fogging up my brain terribly. Even with that mega coffee I drank. Those vehicles were just tough. Just disintegrate those vehicles on the spot. All that was left was confetti burning. Confetti like metal billowing through the air. And the massive craters that the 80mm shells created. Those people were gone. Were not just dead, but gone. Almost like they were teleported away by that little girl. They probably wish that was the case. Them didn't know there was a afterlife or not. He considered himself kind of scientifically minded. If scientists found out there was an afterlife, he'd believe them. Till then, he was content to believe that when you died, that was it. Just darkness and no thinking or feeling anything. It was like those people in the cars that just ceased to be. Nashville hot chicken. They're opening a Popeyes in my area, the first in this part of the country, so that might be interesting to try. I hope I can trick my family into getting the Nashville hot version, not just a regular basic chicken, mild flavored. If I wanted mild flavor, I'd go to KFC, not some place called Popeyes. Let's see, civilian vehicles. I think we got the president. Braz asked his comrades without much excitement in his voice. Possibly. So he replied, I'd like anyone's gonna tell us. And we probably won't get credit. There's 3 anonymous terrorist golems who get the credit. I'll yell to the heavens, and that was I. Braz retorted. Noted. If I do something that crazy, I do pull off something that historic, I want credit. There hasn't been president assassination in 20 years. Check. Yeah, it was nothing as dramatic as this. So he replied. Braz didn't know. Man being shot in the head by a sniper seemed dramatic to Braz. He had witnessed some killings like that himself. And he heard the old timers always say that the sniper was the most feared and hated enemy to encounter during the last war. Even over golems and stalkers. I can't remember if I said the golems and stalkers can't be reproduced. At some point I might have implied that they can't reproduce them in the modern time for some technological reasons, I'm not sure. But mostly an excuse to not have them for a while in a 1950s, 60s wartime setting, because they're kind of a game changer. Giant walking robot suits and all. They're not really robots. Or are they? Does it count as a robot if it doesn't have a brain? AI? I don't know. Yep. President's just a figurehead anyway. So he muttered. With him gone, they'll have to conquer. Wipe out a lot more people than him. Her, too. Well, that's right, the president in this time is a woman. Let's see, you have to wait out a lot more people than her to make an impact. Perhaps could imagine a fancy funeral the president would get. They'd be parading an empty casket, be coughing through the streets. After that, if that really was her that died in those vehicles. Braz didn't see the presidential seal on any of the vehicles, but under these circumstances, you can understand the president not advertising her whereabouts. Let's go. Togi ordered. In the 5 minutes it took them to run into more enemy forces, Togi's squad chatted. Just talked about stuff that passed, and Togi saw no harm in it. It was likely they didn't have much in the way of a future. Togi kept seeing him getting surrounded by a dozen golems just popping out of nowhere. And that'd be the end of them. They had skill. They had discovered that about themselves. But skill couldn't overcome those odds. There were probably 50 golems coming into the capital now. That now. So you could be a count. So how's your brother? I can imagine. Your brother's a politician, right? Togi asked. Raz. Yep. Raz admitted. In West Ludka. Dead end kind of thing. Don't see the point in working your way, in busting your ass in Bonn just to become prime minister in a country that is puppet prime minister. West Bludka is just a puppet of the Western Allies and will never have its own sovereignty again. By comparison, the Jade Nation did pretty well. Brad replied. Togi replied, we have some autonomy, and we're not puppets. We're also all together and not divided into two, like you fellas were. Didn't seem that fair to Braz. The in the World War III, Bloodka had killed about 200 million people. Had started a war that killed 200 million people. The Jade killed about 2 billion people in their war, but they were sanctioned a lot less. They weren't dismembered. Bloodka was. Perhaps they didn't want another front on the Cold War. West Jade Nation versus East Jade Nation. The Jade Nation, the West puppet versus the Jade People's Republic. Like the East puppet. I think your brother won't even get to be a puppet prime minister when they find out what you've been up to. Togi said to Braz. I suppose you're right. Braz replied. Especially if I communicating via radio, I should mention. But there's a problem. There's not that much giant robot media in the West. In Japan, it's a different story, naturally. I could probably find a lot of good ones to watch, but I think I've already seen the best that they have to offer. And you know, once you've seen the best of something, sometimes you're not interested in seeing. Like if you saw the best Western ever made, why would you want to watch the second best Western? Or the third best? And it'd only go downhill from there. So I'm saying everyone should just watch the best movie of any genre and never watch anything ever again. Let's see. Read books instead. Even the worst book is still better than the best movie, probably. I suppose you're right, Braz replied. Especially FI. Especially FI. I suppose you're right. Especially if I really did kill the president. So at least he can fall back on being some aristocrat. He's a count, right? Zim asked Braz. Braz nodded yes. A count. And he owns a nice mansion. A count, yeah. But the Equalindus own the family mansion and lands at the moment. Braz replied. Eyed unhappily. And if we regain that place tomorrow, and if East Bloodcut just packed it up, and left that land to the west, would probably be taken over by the government or something. I probably don't have the money to pay for your family of money to pay for the upkeep and taxes. Zim asked Braz. Yeah, I believe we do. Braz replied. The Mildner family has fallen on hard times, but we still have some loot stashed away in Switzerland. Damn the Swiss. Still have some loot stashed away. Let's see. What if everyone hid their money in Albania instead? Will that change the world much? I don't know. Probably not. It's like if you swapped the location of the Dominican Republic with Haiti, or all those other island nations. If Cuba was Haiti, or Haiti was Cuba. I don't know. Just have some loot. Good for you. Jim chuckled. Are you sure you don't have any castles somewhere? Maybe you got some other title. I hear I have some cousins in Austria. My mother was born in Austria, but always considered herself Bloodka, especially back during the war, World War III, when we had Europe by the balls. Braz rambled. Perhaps I'm heir to some title in Austria. You should check it out. You should check it out after this, Zim suggested. You might get a castle and some land someday. Maybe. Braz agreed. It sounded like a pipe dream. Braz was sure if he had been more if he had more, if he had some castle and title after World War III, he would have just be some spoiled rich kid living in Europe, the West. Certainly wouldn't have thrown away a life of luxury to become a terrorist. Who would? What about you fellas? Raz asked both of his partners in crime. You guys don't have any inheritance back home? By Braz's logic, if they were terrorists, then that meant they had nothing back home to look forward to. No luxury, no money, no nice houses. Cody sighed. Oh, my only inheritance is a grave. Is an empty grave. Let's see, is an empty grave in the family cemetery, Togi noted. And if I die here, the odds are that I won't even end up there. End up getting that. I'm sure they'll ship you home. Be home. Raz reassured. Not if I get blown to bits. It's like that convoy we atomized, Togi muttered. And sounded amused for some reason. And on that cheerful note, let's sign off here. Avita Zane, sayonara.